It was slick, and I have been off and on practicing hot weather, cold weather, um, and it had me when I went in for the practice. It had me running at 96 degrees, I think. And then when the qualifying come up, it was 114 degrees. I think that's what it was. Let's see if it, no, it doesn't say it. I think it was like 114 or 16 degrees, which is significantly, it's just a big difference. iRacing needs to fix this, because if you're going to join practice when you actually join the race, I don't know how else to put it. Way iRacing is, when it gets close to the racing time, iRacing allows you to actually go to the race part and join, and when you're joining, they put you in a practice session until it's time to qualify. And in doing this, they need to implement something in there where when you're practicing to go racing, they need to make the dynamic closer, the dynamic weather closer, because 96 degrees is a whole lot different than 114 degrees and track temperature. And when you're practicing that for ever how many minutes, I think they allow you like maybe 30 minutes, maybe 20 minutes, 30 minutes of practice, which you can go practice any time of the day. But when it's getting close to race time, they allow you that much until the race actually starts. So they need to, when they do that, they need to somehow put in their the actual temperature of that race that you're going to race. I don't know how they can do that, but I think that's important, because putting somebody in a practice session that the track is 20 degrees difference is bad, because you're actually setting up your car to qualify and to race. And then when they change the track and it's 20 degrees difference, your car is going to be loose or tight, either way the temperature is. So it doesn't make sense to me. Anyway, getting to the race. The race went pretty good for 160 laps, I think it was, for me. And I kind of stayed in the back like I normally do, stay out of trouble. Well, I think the first couple cautions, like 30 laps, I stayed up front. I qualified 15th, I think, and made it up to top 10. So I knew that I was at least a top 10 car, which is kind of what I do anyway. I want to see what my car is doing, if it's tight, if it's loose, and if I need to make changes like I had to on this track. I'll normally drop to the back and set my car up and fix my car to where I like it, and then work myself back up. And that's what I was doing. And unfortunately, I ran into a little problem with someone, and there was no intent there, because I don't want to mess my car up. I'm still working on it. But his car was already messed up, and evidently they called him a troll, and I hear a bunch of mess from him anyway, and about him, but I've never had a problem with him. And somebody else, another streamer, Hag TV, said that he's never had a problem with Dickard and Jonathan Dickard, and but evidently he says he has a list of people, and I don't know if he wrecks them, I don't know what he does, but he got underneath my skin, and I was having a bad day anyway with my Parkinson's, and so it wasn't, my mind wasn't in the right place anyway, and I did get very upset, but I didn't retaliate. But let's see what he did here. Before he wrecked me intentionally, he claims I did this on purpose, to get back at him or something, after that incident that we had at lap, I don't know, before the first incident that we had together. And he claims I did this on purpose so I can hit him. So as I'm going through the corner here, I'm seeing this red car, and I get way too high, I slam on the brakes. He claims that I did that on purpose, that I come down on him. So now he's japping his jaws, saying I intentionally wrecked him again. So I intentionally do this on purpose. And he's going to send that into iracing. So first of all, I intentionally go in there too hot. He's claiming I go in there too hot, turn myself, and make him run into me. So, but what really happened, y'all see it, I almost hit this guy, and I applied too much brake, and I had too much front brake in it, and I got loose. But yeah, he claims that I did this on purpose. Messes his car up. Yeah, I'm sorry that happened, but there was no intent or no malice in there. So right now he's japping his jaws how bad of a driver I am and all this stuff. So I don't know. Like I said, I'm very upset, and I hope this guy, to tell you the honest truth, I hope this guy gets banned for like a month or something, because from what I heard from these other guys, he is a troll. He don't care. He don't care about nobody else's driving. He doesn't care about hitting anybody else. He does not care. And from what I hear, he's got a gang of people, like a few people that he'll say wreck this guy, and they'll wreck somebody for him, so he don't get penalized or something. And so that's what I've heard too. I've heard that he's got like a gang of people that does his bidding, and that's another thing iRacing needs to look at, because if they need to have people that are like that are known associates of this guy, because if he says to this guy here, hey, go ahead and wreck this guy, take him out, because if I wreck him, it's going to look intentional. So if he comes here and says he accidentally got into me because Dickard got into me, all that stuff, you know, he can make it look accidental instead of intentional. And so that's another thing. And I heard that he does that a lot. So from the guys that was in here, I heard that. So I don't know. This guy needs to go. I'm sick of this. I'm sick of people racing like this. You know, I pay a lot of money to race on this simulation, and for somebody to mess me up on this race that I've practiced for days, when I can be doing something else, and I pay good money to race on this simulation, this guy comes along and doesn't care about nobody else's car or nobody else's iRacing simulation career, then he needs to go. He needs to go back to Xbox or PlayStation or whatever he does. So let me know what y'all think. If I can find it. I think this is it. Yeah, okay. Let's back up here. Let's see. There is a wreck here. Let me get the camera. There's a wreck here happening. You can see here, this guy here. I'm circling him now. You can see this guy here. Let me zoom in a little bit so you can see him. Let's see, that ain't what I need. This guy here. Watch this guy here. I'm going to put it in slow-mo. It looks like netcode to me. There. Okay, let's get rid of this camera. I don't know if that was reaction. He comes up. Might not have been no netcode. Might have been he just had over rotated. Anyway, he's breaking loose. And I see him. I see him up here. I think he's going to stay up here. But then he hits the wall so hard, it looks like he's going to come down. Okay? But then I realize this right here, he's smoking, so he's staying up there. I get too low because I'm watching him. Okay, and I hit the apron, and that apron is like glass. It's like a sheet of ice. Okay, so now I'm spinning, trying to save it. You can see here, I'm trying to save it. Okay, lo and behold, let me set this up for you. Lo and behold, here comes Dickard in the back here. The replay won't go back far enough. I don't know why. It will not go back more than 76. I think it was lap 76. Or 77. It won't, or 72. It won't go back any further than lap 72. So this is lap 176. So it's over 100 laps ago that the incident happened between me and him. And let me just explain what happened. Of course, I told you about letting everybody go. And so Dickard was behind me. And like I said, I haven't had no problem with Dickard in years. Never had a problem with him. I've been on here since 2013, so about 3 years. And we were, I think we're on the back stretch or the front stretch. And I let him go. And he's coming by me, and as he's coming by me, we touch, and I hit the wall. So I tear up my my right fender, and so I'm kind of like, dude, what are you doing? And so he jumps all over my case like, dude, what are you doing? You come across my nose. and looking at it, it can go either way. So either I come across his nose or he come up. It's even hard for me to say. I'm just going to say that it was a racing incident. I have no problem with that, because I could have probably given him a little bit more room, but at the time I was holding my line. So if I'm holding my line, like this guy here, if I'm holding my line here up against the wall and I'm making a pass, I am not going to get so close to him that we might touch. Well, that's what he did. He got so close to me that we touched, and it put me in the wall. So it didn't really hurt his car, but it damaged my car, and I was upset. Okay, so that was over 100 laps ago. So now he's upset with me. Because now I'm a marked man, he claims. I'm a marked guy. I'm on his list. Okay, that's his words. I'm on his list. And even this who is it? Matt Smethers. He asked Dickard, am I on your list? You know, so evidently this guy is like the troll of iRacing and gets by with it. But yet he's got to be pretty good. I mean, I've seen him win some races. So I don't know what's wrong with him. Anyway, so getting back to this. So I'm slow because I hit this apron, and this guy, there's no caution. I don't know why, but there's no caution. And so this guy here, I still don't know what he's going to do. So I'm slow here. So what I'm going to do is reverse the angle here, and I am going to zoom out here. Okay, no, let's see. Is there another one? Well, I guess I can do that. Alright, let's see if this is good enough. Okay, so I'm slow and I don't know what to do, so I just decide to stay low because I'm slower than everybody else. I know this. Here's Dickard. He says that I cut down on him, and he turns me. Okay, now let's turn this around. Or I'll tell you what, let's go to Dickard. Where he is, where is he? There he is. Okay, let's go to his in-car. Alright, so okay, so he can't see nothing. His car's already messed up. He's already hit something over here too. Hit this, and hit this. So let's watch this. So he's trying to cut. Okay, he sees that guy here. Oh look, there's Jay Collins. Slows down. Yeah, so. And he says that I intentionally wrecked him. Okay, so the wreck is happening in front of him. You can see the smoke. Instead of staying up here, he goes completely on the apron. I mean, watch what he does here. Cuts all the way down here. He says I was going low and you cut me off, is what he said. And so you can see I'm moving up. I mean, he's on the stinking apron, but I cut him off. And I am 23rd right now. No, he's 23rd. I'm 17th. And he's trying to pass me, and he is like, I don't think he was that many laps down at first. I think he was like 5 or 7 laps down at the time. Okay? So, and he is just pleading his case to me that I cut down on him. So if I'm going up the track right here, there is enough room for him to go by right here. And he is slowing down at that. And turns me. And you can hear his motor. Listen to his motor. I mean, you can see his wheel. Watch his wheel. See it? So, I turned it into iRacing. I don't know what they're going to do. To me, this looks like intentional wrecking. He tore my car up bad. I think I ended up, 4 laps down. But I did take the time because I was already 2 laps down, and the next guy was 6 laps down. So I did take the time and fix my car the best I could. So this is the end result right here. Crushed up panels. The back end was destroyed just about. You could see back end was really messed up, and the traffic was coming, so I just decided to tow. So that's it. I mean, I don't know what else to do here. I mean, it upsets me because I try to race clean as I can. There is times that we get into each other. Now, I think in Martinsville, I did get into somebody to move him, but he was brake checking me in Martinsville, and of course he intentionally wrecked me there, and I turned that in. iRacing said that like I warned the guy, well, I threatened him. I said, if you don't move, I'm gonna move you. And evidently that's against the rules. You're not allowed to say that, because they said that I threatened him, and that would be the only thing I know that I said. And I threatened to move him, and I moved him, and he basically brake checked me about 5 laps later and destroyed the front of my car. So I turned that in, and he might have got a warning or something, I don't know. But anyway, this here is blatant. This here is somebody who doesn't care nothing about the other competitor, and he intentionally wrecked me because he was mad. I don't know what his problem is. Other people do have problems with him, and I'm sure this ain't the first time he's been um, um, protested, because I've heard it several times this year about him being protested. So let me know in the comments what y'all think, and if you know, I know this, a lot of this goes on, but in the NIS series, I expect more competitiveness instead of childish stuff. And this to me is somebody who needs to grow up, and I don't know what else to say. I'm very upset, and if iRacing doesn't do something, this is going to tear the sport apart, because people like this need to be suspended, and if they get 3 or 5 strikes, then they need to be completely cut off, start another account or something. And I guess that's why you see their name with a number 2 beside it. I don't know, but I know some people just make another account to do other things. But yeah, just let me know what y'all think in the comment, and if I could have done anything different, or handled it any better, or if you know him, know of him, tell me in the comments, and hopefully we can get this guy to straighten up, or even get him banned, because you know, I like to be the best that I can, and there's no way that I can be up with the top guys and getting wrecked like this. I mean, I know that sometimes even the pros intentionally wreck people or get intentionally wrecked, but this guy had no disregard on even trying to hide that he's going to wreck me. I mean, that was a blatant intentional wreck is what that was. So again, let me know what y'all think in the comments. If y'all have had a run-in with Dickard, let me know, and hopefully we can get this guy to straighten up, or iRacing can take care of him for us. Thank you.